here at RAND, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for July 12th, 2020, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. For those of you in our Chakra family, hopefully you've got a notice on the transference of the new site, and make sure that you have your payment. Those of you receiving commissions right now, they have your payment structure set right. They'll give you 24 hours after the new website has been propagated. In other words, published. So if you don't do that in 24 hours and check everything, then you'll have to come back in and re-sign up. So that's just so you all know. You have to come back in. You'll have to re-opt or re-sign. Go through your sign-up again. So it's probably a pretty good idea that you, because you'll have to get a new password. You'll have to do all that stuff. So you want to make sure that you, within that 24 hours, once the website has been, and they're supposed to notify everybody ahead of time now on the understanding of getting that corrected or situated. Now, when we have thoughts come in, we choose what those, we choose which ones we want. And it's very important that we choose wisely. And we're curious always about these thoughts that come in. Now here's an example for you. Excuse me. When let's take wearing a mask, okay? That's craziness is going on right now. You have a thought. You then choose that thought, which says to you, wear a mask. And that's how this works, okay? Now, you choose, no one else does. Seriously, no one chooses for you. You choose. So this is why when our thoughts come in, they usually, if we're aware enough, we usually just let them go. They come and go as they will. And each of us are free to express them as we wish, or we just let them float on by. And then the ones we do choose, we choose wisely, hopefully, that we aren't sporadic, or just herky-jerky where we just grab them and bring them in. Because the thoughts are what basically we bring to create into reality. We bring those thoughts in. So whatever they may be. So it's planetary-wide that you decide what thought you bring in, and then you decide you create it in reality. So it's like wearing a mask. You have a thought that comes in that tells you to wear a mask. You then take that thought, you create it into reality, and you wear a mask. Now, I'm saying this specifically because it's across the board with everything. And as we shift, as the energies and frequencies are in high gear as far as transforming, it is very important to understand that to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose them with love. Be careful on the ones you do choose, because that's what you will create into your reality. It's no different than when a fearful thought floats in front of you. And that's what they do. You just kind of picture them just floating by. Okay? Sometimes they're real fast because so many come in. And there really never is a bottleneck because it's just up to you to just let them float on by. They're not, it's not like you have to choose every thought. Some of us are that way. We think we have to choose every thought created into reality. The thing that creates our experience is our thoughts. Without thoughts, we would not have experience. So when we see something, we have a thought. We have these thoughts constantly. They're never ending. They're always there. So it's not like you have a blank space where there's no thoughts. All of us are literally flooded with thoughts. Now, when you take the thought in itself and you understand what it is, it's just a thought. It has no teeth and it has no attachment. Only when you embrace the thought and bring it and create it in reality does it become your reality. That you embrace it and that you design after that the experience. So when people say, well, I don't know how this happened, or I don't know why this took place, or, it just did. It's because that they, subconsciously, I'll say, they embraced the thought and they created it in reality, so therefore they had the experience, but they weren't consciously aware that they had embraced the thought for the experience. See what I mean? So when we do this, a lot of the times is why we get the attitude that, life throws these things at you that you just aren't aware of. We literally are aware of everything but not consciously. A lot of us aren't consciously, but we are aware of everything. When we bring it into full view, and then we begin to understand, is that, okay, so I take this thought in, and I create it into reality, it's the experience I'm going to have. So, do I want to take this thought, create it into reality? See? Now, it's much simpler for us when we are in the now, say. We slow the traffic, if you will, of the thoughts. A lot of the times, most of us are on the Autobahn, and the thoughts are zooming by so fast you can't even see them, okay? But when you're in the now, it stills that mind, and it literally removes the chatter, the noise. And there's our space, okay? That's our space. That's our saving grace, the now. So when we're in that now, and there is no attachment to the mind, you have no attachment to the mind in the now, because all you're doing is focusing on the moment. So when our thoughts, as curious as we are, a lot of the times we create, we take thoughts, create them into reality every second, and then it lays out our experience in this life every second of every minute of every hour of every day, so on and so forth. So we're in a constant, I'm going to pick this one, pick this one, pick this one. Now, it's not about micromanagement. It's not an intricacy. It is just a knowing. So when a thought comes in, you go, do I really want to have this? Do I really want to create it into reality? It's not that difficult when you're in the now and you're existing between the spaces of heartbeats. You're in the space between heartbeats. So it's the thought that and then most of us really, we just kind of randomly bring them in and create them in reality, and it doesn't happen slowly. It's like instantaneous. And this is all about us coming into our knowing of who and what we are. It's just part of that. It's part of the knowing of who and what we are while we're in these bodies. We have all of these thoughts that are just literally lambasting us constantly. And we get into the understanding for ourselves that, you say, okay, I'm just, what I do is I just let the thoughts float by. You just let them float by. And then if there's a thought that you wish to embrace and create in reality, then you just take it and you create reality. If you have a nice thought, you know, and you decide that this is different for a lot of people because it's like automatic to embrace these thoughts and create a reality all across the board, okay? But there are those who take a thought, that these thoughts come by, and let's picture them as floating by, okay? And they have like little clouds, you know, where they're identified above them. And it says, okay, this is a thought of peace, a thought of bliss. This is a thought of anger, a thought of hatred. This is a thought of deception. This is connected to deception, dishonesty, all these different thoughts. But you can choose, you choose wisely. I like that thought, so I'm going to create that thought into reality. So I'll embrace that thought. That thought might be just peace, joy, love, whatever. Those thoughts, all thoughts are in different arenas, different categories, if you will. They're high frequency thoughts, low frequency thoughts, mid frequency thoughts, and all those in between. And understand that thoughts are frequencies. So when we bring these thoughts in, we're going to create them in reality, and whatever it is that we have embraced is going to be. That's it, period. And for most of us on this planet, we don't know that. We aren't conscious of that. So someone suggests something which is influential to you, and then these thoughts come into you, and then you embrace that thought, and you create it into reality. It's just like wearing masks. That's an example. That's a thought. You know, okay, so should I wear a mask? Then you remember you got all these other thoughts. Oh, what if I get sick? Is this real? Those are all thoughts. So you begin to understand what this is all about. It's about you and what you choose. It isn't about anything else externally. It's all internal with each and every one of us. Remember, there's no attachment to the mind. We don't have attachment to the mind. The mind just is everywhere. It's up, down, all around. It's just everywhere. It has no structure. It generates random thoughts, lickety-split all the time. It's constantly activating with thoughts, constantly. And it has no control. There's no control there. So you realize that, and you say, okay, so I know that by staying in the now, and my thoughts are floating by. They're not really your thoughts yet until you embrace them. But these thoughts are floating by. So can you imagine through your heart minds, visualize that you are in charge or command of your thoughts? So those thoughts that go by, you can select which thoughts you wish to embrace into reality. And then the other ones, you just let them float by. They just float on by. You don't interact with them. You say, oh, there's a thought of anger. Oh, there's a thought of deception, manipulation, greed, dishonesty. Oh, look at that. There's a thought of peace. I want that one. You see, it's like how would you put it? It's like a candy store, and there's bad candy and good candy. And then there's average candy. So you're a kid in a candy store, and you're sitting there going, well, and then you're consciously aware. So you go, okay, well, this thought I want. The other ones just pass by. Now, a lot of people don't look at it from that perspective. They just look at it. They take everything for granted. You take it for granted. Just with his thoughts, you just do whatever and you experience. But when you break it down and you understand that there is no attachment to the mind, and you have all these thoughts, and then the only attachment begins is when you embrace the thought. So if you do it through a visualization, you see these thoughts float by, it puts it into a different perspective for each and every one of us. So we begin to understand that I have something to say about this. I actually have something to do with it. It's not just random. There is a discipline. There always will be. Just like the universe finitely engineers everything. There's no mistakes or mishaps. It is. It is. So it is, so it shall be. So when we have these and we start to realize that the thoughts are up to us, they aren't up to anything else but us. So we embrace the thoughts that we want to. We create them into reality. And when you begin to realize that and you look at it from that perspective within you, everything shifts for you and changes because you selected. Now, the interesting thing is that the ego's monitoring all the time. So the ego mind tries to derail you because you'll have thoughts that'll come, that'll float by. That through the ego pressuring and agitating you, you will embrace the wrong thoughts. So you'll choose the wrong thoughts. One of anger, one of hatred, one of pain, one of disgust. You'll embrace those thoughts because remember that little fellow, the ego mind is always there. So you want to make sure that you're aware that you got one eye on the ego mind. So when you embrace these thoughts, understand you got one eye on the ego mind so that the ego mind can't derail you. Okay? You might be tempted to grab that thought of anger. You might be tempted. We all are. But then you say, I don't. Just remember, this is about you. It's not about anybody else. It's about you. So you determine, do I want to get myself riled up by embracing this thought of anger? Do I really? What's it do for me? What's the feeling I'll receive? Well, you know already because you've had experience with that. See, the neat thing about this is we've already experienced all this stuff. So we know that if we start looking from a different perspective within us, we begin to understand that I'm not going to let that thought float by. Not even interested in that. Okay, there's another one. And you're not interested in them. You're conscious about your thoughts. They're not your thoughts. They're just thoughts. So those thoughts float by. The ones that you like, it's like you see a thought of happiness. Well, I want that thought. So I'm bringing that thought in. So guess what? As soon as you embrace that thought, create the reality, you're going to experience happiness. Some form of it. It's no different than anything else in our existence. It's what you choose. Each and every one of us choose this. It's not happenstance. It's just not something that just takes place. We have to act upon it. If we don't act upon it, then it's just going to be constantly random of everything smashing into each other. And then our lives will be like they are today. Random. And when you can pick, when you pick a thought, say of happiness, when you choose it to bring it, create reality, you're not concerned. You don't have any attachments or expectations of what it is that you're going to experience that's happy. You're just going to bring in that thought and be happy. That's all. That's it. So something can occur. The universe deliver this. The universe deliver, and you experience a burst of happiness or joy. See, and then you get to a point where you say, I like those thoughts. I like picking those thoughts because I feel really good when I have those thoughts. And you do have them, and you choose them. So when you have those thoughts, you embrace them. How can I get more of those thoughts? They're everywhere, floating across in front of you. You choose happiness. You choose joy. When I talk about choosing it, you're choosing it through the thoughts that float by, because you got plenty, and you'll always have plenty, and they're never going to run out. So doesn't it make sense that you choose your thoughts? And to some people go, that sounds like a really hard thing to do. And there's a good old ego coming in. I don't know, boy, that just sounds too involved. I get along okay with how I go, so I'm going to stay that way. This is what happens to keep us on that wider path, so to speak. Now, when you're on the straight and narrow, you are able to choose your thoughts and embrace. Doesn't it make sense? You choose what you want to experience. You don't know. You don't know what the attachments or expectations is. You don't have them. But you choose to be happy. You choose to be joyous. You choose to be peaceful. You choose to be healthy. You have these. So understand something. This goes across the board. Now, if you aren't well and you have something going on with yourself, you can see. Then the thoughts. Remember, those thoughts are coming across, floating in front of you all the time. So if you aren't feeling well and you start taking those thoughts randomly, that you don't feel well, that this is bad and this is that, you will instigate further pain or further worry or stress or whatever with whatever's going on with your body. So it goes across the board. It's anything. It is, you are the director of it. So doesn't it make sense that you're the director of your existence, of your experience? You literally can create everything, but you start off with the thoughts. Eventually you begin to master things, and then you could literally design your day with the thoughts. Most of us aren't there yet, but you can design your day. Your 24 hours, you can design it. You can design it continuously. This is why I say moving forward all the time. We're always moving forward. We're not looking over our shoulders. We're not looking behind us. The past is gone. We've already experienced it. The future has not come. So there is no tomorrow and there is no yesterday. There is only the now. That helps us. It all connects. It's all finitely connected for us to comprehend and begin to understand more about who and what we are. So you realize that the thoughts are just the thoughts. You choose them whether you're aware or not. So I'll give you an example on the financial end. You choose thoughts that float in front of you that are worry, stress, and fear and lack of, and you create those into reality because guess what? You are doing it. No one else is doing it. You are. See? And so when you become consciously aware of this and you say, okay, so this is where they say you could change your life, the direction of your life, in a blink of the eye. This is what they're talking about. The way you can do that is, if you want to, if you're committed to only, then you can choose thoughts that aren't in the lack of lower density, lower frequency. They're not in the fear of not having. They're the opposite. They're the embracing of having, the embracing of abundance and wealth and prosperity. They're not the ones that most people bring into their reality, which is lack of, stress, worry, and fear. And if they do that, when they do that, any of us, you will create it. You're embracing those thoughts into reality. You don't have to. There's no set precedence on what you should or shouldn't do. It is up to you. So when you pick those thoughts, choose wisely. See? Choose with love. Choose wisely. And it's up to you to determine, do I care? Do I want to do it this way? Do I want to do this? Or am I lazy and I just want to keep doing it the way it's been going? So these random thoughts come in. Now the majority of them I don't really care to have, but I do for some reason. I bring them into reality. So it's just up to you. But remember that this is your life. It's nobody else's life. It is your existence. Doesn't it make sense that you master it? Now, you can't master it overnight, obviously. But if you're awake enough, you can begin to start putting the pieces together in your heart mind. and form the picture of the way you intended. Now, you don't have expectations or attachments with that. You literally create it. So you say to yourself, there's a happy thought, I want that thought. So you bring it into reality. There's a hateful thought, I don't care to have that thought, let it float on by. It really is that simple. And when you practice it, it may be discomforting at first or out of your comfort zone, but after a while, you'll begin to really like it because you'll start to experience the very thing that you were experiencing before but weren't consciously aware that you were experiencing it. In other words, you weren't aware that you were actually doing it yourself. You know, oh, it's because of this, or oh, it's because of that, or oh, it's because of this happened, or oh, it's because of that happened. No, it's always you. Always has been. And when we do that, and when you become your own sovereign kingdom, when you are out of the feudal system of this planet, you will then begin to take responsibility, and you will then choose your thoughts wisely as they float by. So it's simply this meditation. Choose your thoughts wisely as they float by. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we want to do is relax our body. Now that's a thought too. You got a thought that comes by relaxation. I want that thought. So you create it into reality. It's a fun thing to do, by the way. All right? So you take that thought of relaxation, bring it into reality. The body responds to your intentions. Okay? It doesn't respond to anything else. It responds to what you think. That's how it all starts. It responds to thought. So, you relax. Body, let's relax. That's a thought that you just embraced. Body, let's relax. There's a thought coming by. Relax the body. And so, you say, I want that thought, so I'm going to use it, create reality, relax the body. The body, let's relax. Head to toe, or drop the shoulders. Those are all thoughts. And so as we do that, the body begins to relax and let go. Remember what I'm saying, these are all thoughts. You couldn't speak if thoughts weren't being embraced, okay? You couldn't. You wouldn't be able to talk if thoughts weren't being embraced. So you're relaxing the body with your thoughts, and then as you relax the body, another thought comes in and says, there's the now. I want to be in the now. So that thought, you embrace that thought, you create it into reality. I am in the now. And believe me, you're in the now. Period. No ifs, ands, buts about it. So you can tell the shift when you do this. There is a shift in your frequency when you do this, when you practice this. So then you turn and you say, okay, now I'm in the now. And the now is everything I have. That's a thought that just came by. The now is everything I have. So as you begin to understand this, it's quite enjoyable to immerse yourself in it, and it's fun because it gives you much more awareness of your conscious abilities. So then the now, what is the now? The now is everything. The past is history. It's gone. There's no yesterday. It's gone. You can't bring it back, no matter how hard you try. But a lot of us try. They try to bring it into a future that doesn't exist. They create the future out of that past that is long gone and dead, and then they end up reliving that past and the future that they created with that past. So we don't care to do that. We're walking forward, moving forward. We aren't looking over our shoulder, and we're learning more and more about ourselves and what we really truly are. So as we do this, and we're in the now does another wonderful thing for us. This is a thought too. that I choose to embrace, create into reality. The now stills the mind. Now understand, the mind isn't disciplined, okay? It's not. It's random. This is why we have so many crazy thoughts that we inadvertently embrace. But when you still the mind and you leave the mind alone, the noise is gone. The ego is gone. And all you're doing is you're picking, very simply, you're embracing thoughts into reality of the now, of exactly what you're doing in the now. It's like you look at your finger and you see a little crack in the finger, and you're in the moment and you're looking at your finger and you go, I wonder what happened there. What did I do there? And that was a thought you just embraced into reality. See? You see how that works? Doesn't it make sense that you still the noise, you still the mind by being in the now? Doesn't that make really perfectly good sense? Most of us spend our lives trying to figure out how to reduce the chatter and the noise. And many of us, there's a lot of us that bury it in drugs and everything. That doesn't do any good because it's still there. So people go, how do you do that? Well, I'm sharing that with everyone right now. This is how you do it. So you, in the now, the noise is gone, the ego's gone, and you just have the now, and you're focused on every moment to moment, the space between heartbeats, and you're selective and you choose your thoughts wisely. You feel that little nudge, that little shift when you focus in that direction. Now also, we have another thought that comes along and floats along. Breathe. That's a thought. It really is. It's kind of a reaction, because if you don't breathe for a period of time, the body goes into, you better start breathing. But it is an initial thought that takes place. So our breath is a phenomenal energy because it sustains our bodies. We all know this. If you didn't breathe, the body would not exist. It would be gone on this planet. So as you breath in through the nose real easy. You don't try to kill yourself breathing in, and you breath out through the mouth. Now, as you breath in through the nose, you're breathing in divine positive energy. Why is it divine? Because it sustains the existence and life of the body that holds the God within you. That's why it's divine positive energy. And so when you take this in, you recognize that it's not just breath that we take for granted. It's much more than that. It's a powerful frequency and energy. So then you visualize it, thought you embrace. We have all of these chakras, 7 of them, going right through the center of our body, right up through from the base of the spine all the way up to the top of the head. And these are all energy vortexes. And they're lying across different points on your spinal column, and they're connected to different glands and organs in the body, and are responsible for a uniform distribution of chi. The chi is the God power, the God energy, also called ki or prana or life energy. When there is a disruption in this life energy or a blockage in any one or more chakras, you may suffer from health or mental issues. Period. So these chakras form the energy ecosystem of every individual. A deficiency in this ecosystem can wreak havoc in the different areas of life. These things are very valuable and very, very important. So you view these as like flowers, different flowers, geometrical shapes. So you have the red chakra with your divine positive energy. So visualize taking your divine positive energy up through all the wheels of light of the different colors of the chakras. And we start with the root chakra, the Muladhara. It's the energy, stability, comfort, and safety. It is the I am. That's the energy vortex. And it's a red wheel of light. Then we go to the sacral chakra, which is the orange wheel of light, the Vadhisthana. This is sensuality, sexuality, pleasure, sociability, I feel. Then we move that divine positive energy, that breath, up through the yellow wheel of light, solar plexus chakra, the Manipura. This is strength, personality, power, determination, I do. And then we pull it up through the green wheel of light, the heart chakra, the Anahata. And this is acceptance, love, compassion, sincerity, I love. And then we move it up through the throat chakra, the blue wheel of light, the Vishuddha. Communication, expression, creativity, inspiration, I talk. Then through the violet wheel of light, the third eye chakra, the Ajna. This is intuition, lucidity, meditation, trust, I see. And then to the crown chakra, purple wheel of light, the Ahasra. This is knowledge, consciousness, fulfillment, spirituality, I understand. Now you bring this beautiful divine positive energy, your breath, up through all of the chakras, intensifying it. Then you hold it to the back, into the back of your head, and briefly you hold it. Briefly. I am light, I am love, I am. And in that brief moment, you compress and condense it into pure liquid frequency of the highest high vibrational frequency, and you release it over the pineal gland. And as you do this, and you can look at the pineal gland as a prune or however, a raisin, however you want to look at it. I see it as a flower bud, a rose bud. It's a green ball, and when I release this liquid energy onto it, it just immediately blossoms and blooms into a vibrant, multicolored, reflective, high fragrance rose that's eternal and immortal. And as I do that, I see the gateways as the pineal opens up and becomes fully functional and healthy. It is the gateway to all the particles of existence. It's the gateway to pure consciousness. It's the gateway to everything beyond. So it is very important to us to have it fully functioning and very healthy while we're in these bodies. So you can visualize this whenever you choose and do this exercise, because I can guarantee you one thing: it works. So we're all consciously aware that we are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And we're one. We know we're one. We are the one. We're part of everything, the one, source creator. And the heart mind, the God, the body, all one. Now, we have others with us because we're all here on the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies to assist this planet and its civilization into a higher density, a higher field of existence. So we have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. Now, they've been around a long time, and they've been assisting us a long time, and we've been assisting them for a long time. Now, there's trillions of them. This is a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do. Now, this is why we don't see them like we see each other. And a large number of them, thousands of them, can surround any one of us at any one time because their frequency allows them to have a large number in a small space. Sometimes they appear in humanoid form, and we don't catch it immediately, but if you're consciously aware enough, you will catch it usually after they have left. It's very rarely do you say, well, you're an angel. And it's very rarely they say, yes, I am, and I'm here to give you a message. This usually doesn't work that way. Once in a while. But the majority of the time, they appear out of nowhere, you talk with them, you have an interaction, and then they're gone, and then all of a sudden something comes over you, and it dawns on you that, wait a minute, that was an angel. And we give them messages too. Now, they are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And we have the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Hell, Thoth, many, many, many more. Now, they are those who have literally ascended out of body and hold God form, pure consciousness. Now, they assist us every day. We assist them every day. And remember, we're all interconnected. We're all one. So, we have ascended into a body to experience physical existence, physical life. In a selected density. Now, we're all gathered here, and we're compelled to call out to all of the other particles of existence, the other parts of Source Creator, the reflections of us and all of us. So we call out to all light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation of forming the circle of light. And they come in the Gogaplexes. One Gogaplex will fill this universe. They come in trillions of Gogaplexes from every direction. And they are with us. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, Agartha, and beneath Earth. Many, many, many civilizations and species. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude, can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light that we are forming. And they come in the billions, and they're with us. We call upon all of the galactics and off-worlders and only those who are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light. Now, we're only familiar with a few of them. Over 1,000 different civilization species travel through this solar system every day. Now, they've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And just to name a few of them, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, feline, Zeta Reticuli, Greys, these are, then there's different species. Draco, reptilian, Abion, Golden Pyramid, on and on and on. and they come in the billions. And they are with us. We call out to all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation of forming the circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they are with us. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of the circle of light. And they come in the billions. And they are with us. And we're all assembled. We're all gathered here at this planet, in this solar system, on the rim of this Milky Way galaxy, to lift the vibrational frequencies of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, this meditation, forming the circle of light, in all life, on, in, above, and below it. And all of our gods are together, arm in arm, hand in hand. All of us are of the highest and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude. And we are of the highest and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. We're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, and abundance. And all of us are one. And all of us are the love. And all of us are the God. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. Now we've all have come together, and we form this massive circle of light. It's larger than the ring of Saturn, the rings of Saturn, and it is so white and so bright that it grays out the darkness of space. It balances the yin and the yang, the dark and the light. It floods with the highest of the highest high frequencies of deep eternal love, of which everything comes from. This entire planet is literally engulfed with this light. All life on it, in and above and below it, the highest value in the universe is lifting it into a higher and higher and higher frequency of deep eternal love and gratitude. So we begin to levitate up above the planet. As we do this, we're immediately met with this massive gossamer field. It's everywhere. It's filled with this vibrant, trillions of different colored lights reflecting like little mirrors. And as we move up higher and higher, we're met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael, which is a column that reminds us that we have the power and are the power of healing. Next, we're met immediately with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column that reminds us of our power, of our strength, of our resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column that reminds us that we are imbued head to toe, inside and out, with this white fire, God, light, energy, armor. It is of the highest high frequencies of deep eternal love and gratitude. It cannot be penetrated. It cannot be dispelled. You cannot be harmed. But the only thing, the only power that can diminish it is you. The thoughts you embrace and create into reality. If you lower yourself deeply enough, you will weaken the white fire armor enough to allow lower dark matter frequencies, lower survival matter frequencies to flood in. Only you, nothing external can do this. Only you can. If this does happen, you are met with the purple transmuting flame. And this column reminds you that if you do this in lower frequencies, you can bring in the purple transmuting flame. You can immediately transmute all of these lower frequencies into neutral light substance, and then you can send it back to pure consciousness where they are no more. Then you're immediately met with a violet ray. This column reminds you that you can bring in the violet ray right after the purple transmuting flame, and you can cleanse and purify the area where those dark matter frequencies were, therefore reinstating your white fire armor to the highest of the highest high frequencies of deep eternal love and gratitude. You then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column that reminds you of the love that you are. It reminds you of the love that made you. And it is everywhere. This is why it is everywhere. Continue to remind you of the love that you are. So every time you see a sunset, you see those colors, golden, white, pink light. It is reminding you that you are the love. It is reminding you that you're part of the creation of the beauty, the splendor. You see it in the skies, you see it in the water, you see it in the rainbows, you see it everywhere, in reflections. You're reminded constantly. Now, some of us, as we continue to ascend up above the planet, carrying physical form, step outside of our physical forms and float above them effortlessly. And as we do this, we see this massive column, larger than the solar system that we've all created. This column looks like we've designed it like an opaque or crystal tower, a quartz crystal tower. It is, you can see, kind of see into it. It has trillions of vibrant colors, a multitude of rainbows like prism effect, and it's sparkling, reflecting, pulsating imagery of all these colors like a beautiful aura. And it literally spreads out and affects everything at higher frequencies. And at the top of it, we designed it so that the golden ocean can cascade down 360 degrees perpetually, eternally, and saturate everything. This planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, all the planets in the solar system, lifting vibrational frequencies into higher and higher and higher densities of deep eternal love and gratitude. Now, each of us are a drop of the golden ocean that's cascading down. And each of us hold the essence of that ocean in that drop. And then what is the ocean? It's pure, deep, eternal love. It's everywhere. It's in all kinds of forms. We look a little bit over and we see this meditative sphere. It's that center circle. It's massive. It houses all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Imagine that. All of our meditations, moving towards 900 meditations, well over 2 years of love, gratitude, peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, tranquility, benevolence, and abundance, all intentionally being sent to this sphere. And this sphere literally is flooding all of us inside and out, head to toe, all of our brothers and sisters on this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, everything and everything with the highest of the highest high, deepest eternal love and gratitude. It's everywhere. We have the column, the golden ocean. We have the gossamer field of reflective, glittering lights, all the columns of lights. This is all concentrated on the liberation of this planet. Gigaplexes, trillions of beings gathered here in this meditation, in this circle of light, to orchestrate the shift. Visualize that. Omnipotently powerful. Reaching into trillions of universes. Vast. Unending. And it's all the thoughts that you see float by that you can choose each and every one wisely with love. All the thoughts that float by you, consciously, carefully, selecting the thoughts that you choose to create to reality. This is why this planet is being liberated and lifted, because it is through all of our intent that it do so. It's through all of our intent, which are the thoughts that we choose to create to reality, to just lift all of our brothers and sisters, all life, everything and everything, and life, the highest value in the universes, permanently. Not temporarily, permanently. Visualize it, because we are it. All of us. And the thoughts that we have embraced have inspired us to commit and to be part of this grand, spectacular, magna glorious event. And all of us are the ones that we have always been waiting for, but never knew we were. I join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. breathe easy in through the nose, out through the mouth. Move slowly. In the now. Choosing your thoughts wisely. Chatter is stilled, ego is asleep. Moment to moment. Choosing your thoughts wisely in the thought. Take this with you for the rest of the day, the evening, into the night, the following morning. And you begin to realize how truly amazing the life that you have been in, your existence is. We will be back here Monday, July 13th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation.